stone porch, and I'm going to show you how I did it start to finish. What I'm doing is I'm putting this porch in here, and I'm making my marks for the excavator. So now we're digging out for the porch. Code says we have to go down 42 inches. Alright, we got our forms in for the whole porch, and we got our forms in for the steps. I put rods, half-inch rods going through. And I got them right into the footer. I tarred around them a little bit, or into the foundation, so if there's any water filtration. When I pour this concrete, I always put a slight pitch on it away from the house, because if any water's laying on it, it goes this way and not towards the house. So now I'm all ready. The inspector's got to come, look at it, and then we get to pour it. We're pouring the concrete. Now today's the next day, and I'm going to show you what's going on. We poured our concrete yesterday, and right over here, this is the plan. I'm going 1 inch underneath the door. The reason I go underneath the door at 1 inch is if they put a carpet or something, the door won't be hitting it. Then I got 2.5 inches or 2 1/4 inches of flagstone. This is my 4.5 inches of concrete, and this is the top of my block. Right here, I got a story pole. That's all my block, how they go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a cap. Now we're filling the inside of this with gravel. And if you want to know what I think about gravel, you could go to Building Stones and Their Uses Part 2. You fill something with gravel, it's not going to sink. What I'm doing is I'm covering everything with black paper because I don't want the concrete to stick to the block. I put that on my other video, but I just want to show you what I'm doing. Now I got my wire in. I'm all ready to pour my concrete. We poured our concrete, and we're not going to make a nice finish or anything because the stone's going to go right on top of the concrete. Here we are at the stone yard, getting the stone. I'm holding the truck. This is the sidewalk. We finished that, and we started our stone. We're using the same exact stone that we used on our patio. The only thing is we're roughing it up. So I'm coming over here, but here's what I want to point out. You see this screen here? I put this screen in, and there's a reason for that. I have when I poured my concrete, this is separate than from the block work. So I'm going to have a little crack there. So what this screen is going to do is just put it over there, and I'm going to secure it in here, and that way this can move up and down and it won't knock my stone off. Because this is new school. This is new school with real stonework. Old school, we were back about this far. We'd bring the brick about this far back, and then we'd come over the top with the school, with the stone. If you go to old school, the whole thing would be built out of nothing but solid stone, right from the ground right to the top. So that's why I have the screen on here. And I'm just putting in right here a washer and a steel nail, and that's going to keep that screen from moving. Alright, down here on the very bottom I got a ledge. I'm laying this stone on a ledge. What I did over here was I stepped my block back like this, and I sit my stone on the ledge, so it's sitting on something, so I'm not worried about it. Old school was they'd go back 4 to 6 inches, and that's a kind of school, or kind of a thing. So all I'm doing is facing my stone, just like that, giving it a look. Just like I did in my other video, stone veneer, and that's it. And then I wet it, just like I did. This is the same stone I'm using on the patio, like this. I know that's not going to go anywhere. Just like that, and then down on my ledge. then the back of my stone, just like that. Now you could wet the back of the stone, it all depends on, you can tell if it's sticking or not. And then I get it on here, and I get it down there. See it gurgling up on the side, so it's in there good. And that's my stone. See, I got it sitting on a ledge down at the bottom. Here's what we're doing. Right here, we're putting this stone. I'll put it right about here. What I'm going to do, you can scratch it with anything. Just scratch it. And go over here, saw it. John saves a lot of work and money. We're going to face it. Just like that. Just like I did on my other video. Otherwise, you don't face it. It's a style, but it don't look right to me. It's the way I grew up doing it, and my brother does it, and we all do it, so that's what that's going to look like. Right there. So now, same thing, I wet it. You want concrete to stick, you got to wet it first. This is Portland. Portland cement. I use 2 sand to 1 Portland. And I'm not wetting this part because that part's going to move. I'm getting it in there real good. Like that. I put my joints in at the same time. Get a little bit water on this one, I think. And then this, squeeze it in there. That's it. What I'm doing is I'm filling in my joints. I put my joints in at the same time, and then I don't have to worry. I'm done with it. It's a solid piece. Don't have to do it that way. This is Pennsylvania, though. I like to do it that way, and then I'm done. These are bigger jobs, and sometimes you get on these jobs, you have to have an inspector. So what's the very first thing that the inspector wants when he comes on the job?
The money.
Right. You give the guy the money. Then the second thing is usually the footer. So come down and look at the footer. Then after that, they're usually pretty confident, and hopefully they go away, whatever. But now we're just doing our finishing up our stonework on the side. Okay, so then we just get the sponge again. We sponge it off. We get all that excess off on the side. And that's it. That's what we're doing. Now what I'm doing is I'm laying out my cap for the top. This is the cap for the steps. And I cut right here, as you can see, a 45. So when I come over here, so now I'm over here, this is the piece I cut off. What I'm going to do is transfer it to here, like this. And then take my square, like that. Go from there to there, like that. And that's going to be my 45 I cut. Alright, now I'm going to just cut that out. And right here, I just like to do this. Little notches so the cement holds in the corner. Okay, that's going to be my 45. Then I got this piece of black paper. What this black paper is going to do, go right over the top of just the stone. I don't want the stone matching into that. Just like that. So it's not stuck on the stone. And then it's got a real thin joint. Now here's a masonry porch that was built in the 60s, like 50 years ago. So we're going to look at it, and right down here you're going to see the brick. That's 4 inches. Remember I told you? The brick comes up into here, and the stone's laying on the brick, and then it's laying on the concrete. Right here you're going to see a small crack. That crack goes in all the way around, and what's happened is because it's laying on the brick, that's why I put the black paper over the top of the stone to try to avoid that. Then we put our stone back on. We line our stone up with the other side. We know just by eyeing this up, I got a little pitch on the stone. I can see right up to where my chalk line's going to be. Alright, we're starting to do our patio stone, just like that. Getting up around the door first so I can walk around the perimeter when I lay the rest of it. So we're starting our stone, and we're using our straight edge to make sure we're right on target. We're finishing up on the top just like I did on my patio video, same thing. So the patio's all done. Tomorrow I'm going to come and wash it up and clean up, and the job's done.